In the heart of the 11th century, a new power emerged from the shadows of Persia, the Nizari Ismailis, more infamously known as the Assassins. This Shia Muslim sect, led by the enigmatic Hassan sabbah, instilled fear and uncertainty within the ruling Seljuk Empire. Their story is one of religious fervor, political intrigue, and daring acts of violence that have captivated historians and storytellers for centuries. Hassan-sabbah, a learned scholar and a charismatic leader, took control of the fortress of Alamut in 1090 CE. This strategic stronghold, perched high atop a craggy peak in the Elburz mountains of Persia, became the center of their operations. From here, Hassan-sabbah established a network of loyal followers, bound by a strict code of obedience and secrecy. The assassins were not your typical army. They did not command vast numbers or engage in open warfare. Their power lay in their stealth and precision, targeting key figures within their enemies' ranks. These were not random acts of violence, but carefully planned operations meant to destabilize and instill fear. Their victims were often high-ranking officials, political rivals, or anyone who dared to oppose their cause. The very word assassin is believed to have originated from the Nizari Ismailis. Some scholars argue it derives from hashishin, a term used to describe them, though this etymology is debated. Nonetheless, the name reflects the terror their clandestine operations inspired, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies and cementing their place in history. Alamut, more than just a fortress, became a symbol of the assassin's power. Perched high on a precipice, virtually impregnable to attack, it served as a sanctuary, a training ground, and a base of operations. Within its walls, initiates learned the art of espionage, combat, and assassination, honing their skills to become deadly instruments in the hands of their leader. Hassan-sabbah, known as the Old Man of the Mountain to his followers, ruled from Alamut with an iron fist. He was a master of strategy and manipulation, using a combination of religious indoctrination and promises of paradise to secure the unwavering loyalty of his followers. They believed that obedience to him guaranteed their place in the afterlife, making them all the more dangerous and fanatical in their devotion. Legends spread throughout the land about the training and dedication of the assassins. It was said that they underwent rigorous physical and mental conditioning. Some accounts, likely exaggerated, claimed that they were drugged with hashish, shown visions of paradise, and then sent on their missions, believing they were already dead and had nothing to fear. These stories, though likely embellished, highlight the mystique surrounding the assassins. Their ability to infiltrate even the most secure locations and eliminate their targets with deadly precision fueled the rumors. They became the stuff of legends whispered in hushed tones throughout the courts and caravanserais of the Middle East. The assassins' tactics were as varied as their targets. They often struck in broad daylight, in full view of the public, to maximize terror and send a clear message. A crowded marketplace, a busy street, even a mosque during prayer. No place was safe from their reach. Their weapon of choice was often the dagger, a simple but effective tool that could be easily concealed and wielded with deadly accuracy. One of the most famous victims of the assassins was Nizam al-Mulk, the powerful vizier of the Seljuk Empire. In 1092, while being carried in his palanquin, he was approached by a seemingly harmless religious scholar seeking an audience. However, beneath the scholar's robes hid an assassin who fatally stabbed Nizam al-Mulk before being cut down by the guards. This brazen act sent shockwaves through the Seljuk court and beyond. It demonstrated the assassins' reach and their willingness to strike even the most powerful figures. No one was safe, from the Sultan himself to the lowliest official. The fear they instilled was a potent weapon, sowing distrust and paranoia amongst their enemies. The assassins' tactics, though brutal, were effective. They understood the power of fear and used it to their advantage. Their assassinations were not just about eliminating individuals, they were about undermining authority, creating chaos, and ultimately achieving their political and religious goals. Section 4. Fact, Fiction and Hashish. The tales of hashish use among the assassins, while widely circulated, are shrouded in controversy and speculation. While some sources from the time period, often written by their enemies, describe them indulging in hashish before carrying out their missions, modern historians remain skeptical. These accounts often paint a picture of drug-addled fanatics driven to violence by their intoxication. However, this image likely served to demonize the assassins and discredit their motivations. It's crucial to remember that much of what we know about them comes from their enemies, who had every reason to portray them in the most negative light possible. Contemporary scholars argue that the use of hashish, if it occurred at all, was likely limited and not central to their operations. The rigorous training and discipline required for their missions suggest that intoxication would have been counterproductive. Moreover, Hassani Sabbah, a devout Muslim, condemned the use of intoxicants, making it unlikely that he would have condoned such practices among his followers. The association with hashish, however, has stuck, further adding to the mystique and intrigue surrounding the assassins. It speaks to the enduring power of their legend, a testament to their ability to capture the imagination and inspire both fear and fascination throughout the ages. Section 5. The Legend of the Assassins. The Assassins, despite their relatively small numbers, cast a long shadow over the Middle East for nearly 2 centuries. Their influence extended far beyond their mountain strongholds, reaching into the courts and corridors of power across the region. They became a force to be reckoned with, feared by sultans and caliphs alike. Their story transcended the confines of history and seeped into popular culture. They became the subject of countless tales, poems and songs, their exploits romanticized and exaggerated over time. In European literature, they appeared in works by Marco Polo and Dante, cementing their place in Western consciousness. The legend of the assassins continues to fascinate and intrigue us today. They represent a unique moment in history, a time when a small, highly organized group could challenge the established order through carefully orchestrated acts of violence and intimidation. Their story is a reminder of the power of belief, the allure of secrecy, and the enduring human fascination with the dark side of our nature. While the historical reality of the assassins may be shrouded in mystery and speculation, their impact on our collective imagination is undeniable. They remain a source of endless fascination, their names synonymous with stealth, secrecy, and the deadly art of assassination. Section 6. The Fall of the Order. The reign of the assassins, though marked by fear and influence, was not destined to last. By the mid-13th century, a new power emerged from the steppes of Central Asia, the Mongols. Led by the ruthless and ambitious Hulagu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, the Mongol armies swept across Persia, conquering and destroying everything in their path. Alamut, once thought impregnable, fell to the Mongol siege in 1256. The fortress was razed, its once mighty walls reduced to rubble. The assassins, despite their fierce resistance, were no match for the Mongol war machine. Their libraries, containing countless valuable texts, were destroyed, and their network of strongholds was systematically dismantled. The fall of Alamut marked the beginning of the end for the assassins. Though scattered remnants of the sect continued to operate in the shadows, their power was effectively broken. The once feared network of spies and assassins was no more. Their reign of terror brought to an abrupt and decisive end. The Mongol conquest, though devastating for the assassins, ultimately paved the way for a new era in the Middle East. The Mongol Ilkhanate, established on the ruins of the Seljuk Empire, brought with it a period of relative peace and stability. The assassins, once a symbol of chaos and uncertainty, faded into the annals of history, leaving behind a legacy of fear, intrigue, and enduring fascination.